When we first got together and started discussing this project with the Goodall Foundation and City Academy told us that they had an empty classroom in their school, and we thought it'd be brilliant to transform it into a creative learning space that felt very, very different from a classroom.
The children voted on an idea, a creative idea, to transform a classroom, and they voted for a mythical creatures pet store.
If I had to describe what it would look like, it was seemed to be a mix with a farmyard, and it seemed to have the essence of a very weird shop.
We worked with a design company, Sherlock, and they came up with this brilliant design of how we could turn it into a pet shop. But there's evidence to show that children learn in a very different way when they're taken out of their usual classroom environment.
The story itself, that's the basis for the pet stories set in the late 1800s from a character called Martha Tooth, who had a pet store herself. So it's very much has that feel of walking back in time, as well as walking into something that is quite fantastical and something quite different.
As you may have guessed, I'm Martha Tooth, and this is the Tooth and Claw store. Take a look around.
We wanted to create a really stimulating, enriching environment that would really inspire these children to write in a different way.
I'd love for you to write me some stories that are set right here in the Tooth and Claw store. I said, do you think you could help me?
Yes!
Each class has a 2-hour workshop where they're transformed into the space, and then that allows their imagination, their creativity to really fly.
Children of all abilities were engaged, so there was lots of talk, lots of sharing ideas, and lots of validation of ideas. You know, those children who maybe feel weaker about their literacy skills, I heard excellent talk, excellent imagination, and the end of the session was all the adults feeding back praise for what they'd heard, so the children left with a very good feeling of self-esteem.
I got to write my own story, which I am not particularly the best at, and I did my best and it all worked out.
So we start off with lots of sharing of ideas, moving around the room, making some notes, but really it's a wonderful opportunity for them to bounce off ideas with each other, and then to come up with a story, and they create the story. They actually form the story from scratch. From the characters. We base it here in the store, but then they can take it wherever they want to go.
We wrote King Edward and the Unicorn, Robot versus Unicorn, and in my mind that would work in my mind. You know, it's a story, you can do what you want with it.
They went to the palace.
In the workshop we started writing stories and poems, and then they've taken them back to class, and the teachers have had the chance to develop these stories and use the Tooth and Claw store in their own teaching, and it's been great to see how some classes have developed that. So Year 4 have created this amazing mini Tooth and Claw store.
Welcome to the mini Tooth and Claw store. This is the Robo-C sun cream. This is the Alien Owl toothpaste, and this is the Hydro breath mints. The Scorazard shampoo and the Striposaurus poison.
We came down and did the workshop, and they absolutely loved going in. They were so excited when they walked in. It was just like sensory overload for them. They invented some bizarre characters, but they absolutely loved it. So after we went to the Tooth and Claw store, we sort of extended that and went into just general mythical creatures. And then we had some children writing persuasive texts of why should you buy this creature, and they aim them at warriors. You know, you'll win all your battles if you'll buy this creature. And some just writing reports about where their creature lives and what it eats, and they just had a really great time, really imaginative about their creatures. It was great.
We've taken all this work and we've created a book for every child. So every child from the school has their own published Tooth and Claw store book. And what was important too was we wanted this experience to be inspiring for the teachers as well as the children. So we wanted to give the teachers a resource, an idea that they could run with and use in other ways. We want other schools to come and visit and do workshops here too. And it's been such a success. We'd love to repeat it in a different school as well, and we've had a lot of interest about that. And we're excited to see sort of what happens next, where we can take this model next.
We believe that every child has a right to write and needs a space to create. And that when you get that chance, when you get a chance really to tell your story, you get a confidence, you increase your self-expression, you increase your ability really to understand other people, what goes on for them, as well as saying this is what goes on for me.
It was really lovely to have a group of your colleagues from outside of school coming in and being able to prepare a really stimulating environment and really go into depth in terms of the possibilities and the imagination for the children. So there was an element of freedom which was really enjoyable to see.
One of the things that kids get out of the sessions is a chance just to explore their imagination, to say, where do my thoughts take me? To realise that actually their thoughts and their ideas are important in life, and that when you've got a place that you want to go to, a thought that you want to develop, that you can do it, and that we will nurture that and we will let it grow. And through that, as a child, you're learning actually my voice is important, my ideas are important, I have got things to say, and people need to listen to those, and people will listen to those.
Thanks for watching. Bye. No,
Oh, that was amazing, guys.
got it.